This is a bullish call vertical that is $15 wide and pays about a $5.50 debit on it, possibly a little bit more at $5.70 or so. You will bear the risk of the debit you make. For the following 5 weeks or so, your break-even point is $145.50. The current share price is only around 3% higher than that break-even point. It would only be around 10% higher than the current share price if it did reach $155. In order to enter this bullish position at a lower price, you should seek for moderate movement to the upside where it grinds higher and low implied volatility. Okay, not asking for much, just a slight increase in Nvidia's performance back into the 140s. By the end of next month, that shouldn't be too much to ask for, right? January 31st? 38 days until January 31st. Yes. Okay, good. That's nice. How drastically different are Tesla and Nvidia, Melissa, in terms of how their results are visible based on visible alpha consensus? To use your guy's term, the Cybertruck is, in my opinion, the key story here for Tesla, and it is generally agreed that the number of Cybertrucks will triple. There has been a lot of debate about whether or not that will serve as a stimulus for the upcoming year. I believe that's something we're looking into. Whoa, Cybertruck is so important. The robo stuff is something we hear about a lot. All of that seems too futuristic. Will the Cybertruck have a significant impact on existing sales? And that's what the data show me. It may be an indication that a product category is about to take off when you notice a number that is practically double year over year from a relatively low foundation. Well, it appears that people have reacted favorably to the truck. Do you think that robo-valuations and such are real? People are saying that. Elon is stating that in the future, we will have 2 androids per individual. To what extent is all of that hype? After all, having a robot or someone to help me clean up after the holidays and handle some of my holiday shopping would be fantastic. I've been quite busy this holiday season because of it. Yes, it is true. Elon, let's move quickly. That shopping bot, please. Regards, Melissa. Thank you. I'm grateful, Tom. Describe the Tesla possibilities for me. The flip-flop is up more than 4% today, notwithstanding the stock's movement. I have no idea why, but it continues to move upward. In reality, implied volatility levels are high. They are increasing despite the stock's rise. Therefore, that gives me buffers on this one and may lead to certain option strategies that are a little more conservative. Just behind the all-time highs we reached last week, the stock has risen over 80% so far this year. Therefore, I would like to capitalize on the increased implied volatility. Selling a put vertical to profit from a neutral to bullish posture could be a strategy to play it to the downside if you're still bullish on this name. In order to maintain my risk tolerance in a company like Tesla, I sold the 420 put out of the money to the downside during the January monthly cycle and subsequently purchased the 400 strike put. It was trading earlier on a $20 wide short, put vertical collecting that is neutral to bullish, and I have a $7 credit on this. That credit that you collect is what you can make on this position, even though it's probably trading closer to $6 right now. On a trade like this, I get a $7 credit, which lowers my break-even point to $413. That is almost 7% less than the share price as of right now. In this case, you can profit in 3 of the 4 possible outcomes. The stock continues to rise, you maintain the credit. The stock remains at its current level, you keep the credit. Or the stock declines but stays above the $413 break-even point. You can still profit from this trade. If you require any other changes, please let me know. The Dow closed higher for the 4th consecutive day, its longest winning streak in almost a month, and the S&P tech sector is now closing at a record today. Tom Lee, head of research at Fundstrat Global Advisors, is now joining us. He contributes to CNBC as well. Well, Tom, happy holidays to you. I appreciate you being here. I noticed in the producer's comments that you think the animal spirits will return next year, so I would like to ask you a question about that. Which animal species return, and did they hibernate this year? I'm interested to know which species you believe will be in full force in 2025, as we've seen several species out in full force in 2024. The reason I'm thinking of animal spirits and this is a reference to Milton Friedman, is that the ISM has been below 50 for about 3 years, which means businesses have been cautious and haven't been very visible. Finally, though, the Fed is making cuts, and the new administration is thought to be very business-friendly. Therefore, I believe that businesses will be expanding and feel comfortable completing mergers for the first time in a long time. This, in my opinion, is a very favorable environment for financials, small and mid-cap stocks, and cyclicals in general, such as industrials. Therefore, even though technology is keeping up with the business, I believe that in 2025 the market will feel like it is expanding. Although I am aware that you are a classic optimist, Tom, I would like to hear where you believe the greatest threats to that prediction for the upcoming year lie. Whether or not there is a policy error will be the major obstacle in 2025. Two sources are possible. One would be the implementation of economic damaging tariffs by the incoming administration, which we know would have immediate repercussions, or mass deportations that have an unidentified effect on labor markets. The Fed may shift from attempting to maintain the economy to attempting to salvage it if it gets overly focused on inflation and permits the labor market to deteriorate. That, in my opinion, would be a really negative development. Tom, considering the focus from the incoming Trump administration, one of the major themes we just wanted to highlight for viewers and listeners is the notion that cryptocurrencies will continue to be a topic of discussion. We know you're optimistic about a lot of things related to cryptocurrency, but I was wondering if you could tell us which areas of the market you think would experience the best relative performance in 2025. For the past 8.5 years, our firm's investors have suggested allocating funds to cryptocurrency, such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. Given that the regulatory environment is actually getting more benevolent, that allocation should likely be far higher in 2025. Therefore, I believe that Bitcoin still has to be a major component of someone's portfolio, and I predict that it will reach about $250,000. Ethereum, which is currently trading at about $3,500, would likely perform much better as a result. Next year, Ethereum might reach $5,000 or $6,000. This year, in my opinion, is also likely to be known as alt season, during which altcoins like Solana perform remarkably well. Tom, similar to gold and gold miners, some of the businesses that use those commodities may also be involved if you believe that Bitcoin is a commodity in a relative sense. If such cryptocurrency expansion were to occur, which kinds of businesses would stand to gain the most? 2024 has taught us things. The best performing Bitcoin-related stocks, or what we would refer to as leverage stories to Bitcoin, have performed exceptionally well if we consider that they are either buying Bitcoin as a treasury asset or are leveraged to the price. These include Coinbase, Cipher Mining, and MicroStrategy. Other businesses, like as MEA, are following what Michael Saylor would refer to as the Bitcoin standard. However, I believe that a business like MicroStrategy provides excellent exposure to Bitcoin in an investor's portfolio, particularly for large-cap emphasis. What is the outlook for these stocks in 2025? Ask Doug Clinton of Deepwater Asset Management and Intelligent Alpha. Doug, welcome back. Seeing you is pleasant. Scott, you too. Happy Christmas. And Merry Christmas to you. Thank you. We hinted that Nvidia might not be at the top of the list next year. It's not that you dislike it, but you just believe that others might have a chance.